stream. اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. It's really stinky in this room. Look who got his new box. Alright. Now. Hello. Welcome to the stream, killer. Nice to see you again. So last time we did half of chapter 4. Today we are going to finish chapter 4 and perchance do a bit of chapter 5 if I feel like it. I have stranger things to watch, so yeah. Sup, nothing much. Just me and my cat over there. Can't really see him though. Now you can see him. Just barely. Okay, so I'll say this is good. Captures everything. Alright, let's begin. No need to finish Fast and Fast and Furious. So, start with this page. Living with feelings instead of trying to get rid of them. Sometimes the only thing we can do about our feelings is allow them to flow, and sometimes the only thing we can do is manage them. Your job is to figure out what you need. When you're feeling uncomfortable, consider what you can do to manage the discomfort. For example, call a friend to help you. When I'm upset, I can retreat, go for a walk. Well, in our religion, we're told to sit down. If that doesn't help, then we could lie down, make wudu, basically like wash your face, and then hello, oh my gosh, welcome to the stream, all you new people, Monster and Dominis, welcome to the stream, and welcome Courtney, and welcome I Like Nerds Clusters. Hope you guys are having a good day, or if not day, then evening or whatever time it is where you are. Hope everything is going well for you guys. So when I'm upset, I can pet my cat. Actually, usually my cat is the one that makes me upset. So I can give me some suggestions, guys. What can you do? And welcome to the stream, Juliana Treadway. Drink some water, maybe. Drink water. I don't know what else. Anything else, guys? Oh, he heard the water. He wants some now. No water for you, man. Sleep? I'd be too angry to sleep, but maybe, that's a good idea though, because, when you're angry, it's usually because you're tired and you need to sleep. So sleeping is good. It's a good thing. What else? Also, just anything, to be honest. Alright, let's get that out of there since my cat is gone. Sleep. Maybe that's enough. I don't know. We'll come back if we think of any more. Music. Okay, listen to something good. I always do that. And then just like just cry or something, to be honest. Feel your feelings. Alright. Uncomfortable feelings may arise from setting boundaries. Depending on your relationship with the other person, your connection to the situation, and how long you've gone without setting a boundary, you may experience discomfort such as guilt, sadness, betrayal, or remorse. That was me today, bro. Lean on another's shoulder. Aw, that's so sweet. And welcome to the stream, Ayo Brett. Let's put that here. Not that I have any shoulders to lean on, but that's something for the masses to consider. And oh my gosh, welcome back, Primo. How are you? And welcome to the stream, knee surgery person, Freddy Fazbear. So, guilt. When you feel bad about making healthy choices for yourself, guilt may be a part of the process. The more comfortable you will start to feel with setting boundaries, the less guilt you'll experience. Keep practicing as a way to reduce your guilt. Repeat after me. Guilt is a symptom of believing that I did something wrong. It's possible to feel guilty even when I am doing something right. If I have not done anything to harm another person, my guilt is not appropriate or helpful. I am not responsible for everything that someone else feels. I am responsible for honoring my needs, and sometimes that means that others will not be able to get their way. You have been studying for that long? Yeah, I've been studying for hours, morning and evening. Bro, I gotta go to bed. Alright, see you later, Primo, and have a good sleep. Yeah, I did just start, but like it's kind of it's kind of long when you consider like the hours from the morning and then the evening, and it's always like average around 2 hours per stream. So not average. I think the average would be like 1.5 hours or something. But yeah. So betrayal or sadness. Because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, you may feel sad about executing a boundary. Even when you don't know how someone else feels, you may feel sad at the thought of making someone else feel sad. It's healthy to be empathetic, and your feelings are a sign that you care about others. Betrayal. Setting limits with others does not mean that you don't love them. Consider boundaries as a way to keep your relationships healthy while honoring yourself and the other person. You aren't doing anything to harm them or the relationship. Your intention is to keep the relationship strong. So basically, this whole page is saying like all these negative feelings you're feeling, it's pointless. It's there for a reason, because your brain, your nervous system is too used to feeling a certain way and thinking that boundaries are wrong, but boundaries are not wrong. You have to change that the way that your brain has been hardened over the years, because you didn't learn healthy boundaries. So this is, I think, the most important part. If I didn't do anything to harm someone else, I should not feel guilty. It's not appropriate. Okay? Sadness. It's healthy to be empathetic, and your feelings are a sign that you care about others. Betrayal, setting limits with others, does not mean that you don't love them. Consider boundaries as a way to keep your relationships healthy while honoring yourself and the other person. You aren't doing anything to harm them or the relationship. Your intention is to keep the relationship strong. It is pretty late. What happened? That's true. I was doing random stuff. There's a possum at my front door eating the cat food because it was raining and he was really hungry. And then my cat ran out. I had to bring back my cat. And then the outdoor cat was really cold. So I took this vinyl thing that I found that I was rummaging through, and then I put it inside his cat house so it could be more comfy, but he's not gonna go in there, I know that. But yeah, I was just doing random stuff. I got sidetracked so much. I was cleaning the bookshelf, and then I found all these things, and then I put it in my room, like this bakhoor thing, like basically like you put it in this machine, and then you turn it on, and the machine like would like spray smoke, and it got so smoky that I had to turn on the air purifier. So I was just doing nothing. I was canceling out everything that I was doing, and now the room smells crazy. So yeah, that's why I joined the stream late. Yeah, point of view, player versus player, cat versus cat. So, yeah. That's what happened. Anyways, remorse. Don't betray yourself to please others by saying something like, "Did I say that? Oh my gosh, that came out wrong." It's natural to feel like you didn't do the right thing after you set a boundary, but it isn't wrong or bad to set it. Reframe the way you think about boundaries, and that mental shift will help you minimize discomfort. Yes. Boundaries are good. Boundaries may initially seem bad, but in the long run, it's good for everybody. All right. So, journal prompt: how would implementing or reshaping your boundaries positively change your relationships with the significant people in your life? Well, what do you guys think? How's it for you? It's 7 p.m. Why are you smoking in your house at this time? I know. I don't know why. I was just like, oh, it might be like kind of aesthetic if you have like a nice pious smell, you know, like the scholars, they have this kind of smell to them. It's like it's called bakhoor in the Arabian Peninsula. But then it's just too much. Like my lungs were like, please stop, because my neighbor already smokes. It doesn't smell in the house when he smokes, but when you go outside, it's like, ugh, my lungs, my poor lungs. But yeah. How would implementing or shaping your boundaries positively change your relationship with certain people in your life? I can't smell this. This is a question you would be asked at CRE. What is CRE? How others respond to your boundaries. Emotional maturity. Emotional maturity impacts a person's ability to receive, understand, and implement boundaries. So I'm really emotionally immature because I can understand, but I can't implement it. I understand the reason for boundaries to exist and that people are different, but I just can't implement it sometimes. And to receive it, that's even harder because like you don't need boundaries with me, bro. You don't need it. But no, you that's emotional maturity. You have to be able to receive it, be able to understand it, implement it. That's just me in another world, where I'm emotionally mature. But that's why I got this new workbook so I could become that, inshallah. Christian classes. Ah, I see. The entire book is the epitome of easier said than done. I know. It's like, how am I supposed to implement this? So yeah, Christian classes that coincides a lot with like a lot of the things that anyone needs to learn. It's just like religious teachings in general. It's kind of when it's not very specific, like the main things of Christianity. It's like the general things. Like I think everyone needs to learn that kind of thing. So people have a right to a reaction, but it's inappropriate when their reaction causes harm to another person. When you express an expectation, some people will indeed not like it. Know that their reaction is a reflection of their emotional maturity and experience. Chronological age is not an indicator for someone's maturity. Life experiences, knowledge, and comprehension are all factors that influence it. For example, suppose you've done the work of learning about yourself, and you're speaking to someone unfamiliar with the process of self reflection. In that case, they may not understand your perspective. It's essential to remember that someone's experiences and understanding may impact how they perceive your boundaries. Yeah, for sure. I try to self reflect a lot. Like sometimes like I go to the lake, like like anytime I get, whether it's rain or not rain, but like whether it's morning or even after sundown, like when the moon is out and there's like geese everywhere. Like I try to go there. I just look and try to self reflect, try to get to know myself, see what's wrong with me, like why am I this way. But I don't feel myself increasing in emotional maturity when I self reflect every single day. I don't know why. So handling an unhealthy reaction to your boundaries. Step number 1: restate your boundary. I need to. Ugh, man. It's like a self boundary. Communicate a consequence if your boundary is not respected. But I don't respect my own boundary. If you aren't able to do, it's so random. I wonder who wrote this question. I started hating myself. Why? What's wrong? Why would you hate yourself? What do you hate about yourself? What specific? Because that's the only way to be better. Wow. I don't think that's really hate then, because you want to be better. And you know, that's if you want something good for yourself, that's not really hatred. But what specifically do you hate about yourself? Like what areas do you want to be better in? How you treat people? Like how have you, I wanna know specifically. You aren't able to do the above. I need to invest in my own skills much more. Like I feel like the things that I admire in people are like being able to have boundaries. Everything that I don't have, I admire in other people. That's why I want to be like them. So I'm so dependent on them. Like, oh, I wish I were like you. Like, you know, like you have boundaries. You're so talented. You're so skilled in all these areas that I wish I were skilled in, but I don't have the opportunities to be that way. But I do actually. I do have the opportunities. It is not gonna be as easy, but it still exists. It's something that you could invest on. You can invest in anything, no matter how hard it is. My intrusive thoughts. It's like when you hold a baby on a balcony. Oof. Yeah, those intrusive thoughts are like, all right, let go now. Or so you don't like those intrusive thoughts, or because you know everyone gets those. You don't have to hate that about yourself. You just have to not act upon it. And if you don't act upon those intrusive thoughts because you don't control those, then you're already better than like like a lot of people. At least 50% of the population of the whole world. Because a lot of people, they live in places where laws are not very instilled in the place, so they get away with it a lot. You're better than Jeffrey Epstein, okay? Important reminder: do not set a limit that you can't maintain. The consequence of not respecting your boundary needs to be something you can follow through with. For example, I need you to ask me a few days in advance to babysit. If you ask me the day you need me, it's possible I won't be available. Step 3. Manage your discomfort by referring to the when I'm upset I can ... diagram to you created earlier in this chapter. Oh, I can go to sleep. Important reminder: sometimes the very people shaming you for making choices without their input, taking care of yourself, and standing firm in your boundaries are the same people who need to practice trusting themselves, taking care of themselves, and having healthy boundaries of their own. Because it's hard for them, they may try to make it hard for you. When you know the other person struggles to stand in their power, perhaps they're pushing back is a sign that you're on the right track. But that's so hard. Like, you know, like if you tried to do something and they didn't like it, but it's not wrong. It's gonna feel awkward. It's gonna feel tense. It's gonna feel like I can't do this. But you shouldn't care. Like the more you keep doing it, the more the norm will change, and you'll be okay. If you don't try, then the norm won't change. I don't know. I just feel really, really shy sometimes. Like really awkward. I feel like more intensely than most people. I feel like I need therapy. You know what? You're already in therapy. This is therapy. This whole workbook was made by a therapist. Anything that this person, what's her name, Nedra Glover Tawab, anything that she would ask you as a therapist is in this book. I think she made it for her clients anyway. So, oh, you're talking about something else, not boundaries, right? Like intrusive thoughts, like the baby in the balcony thing. all I can say is CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. The more, let's say, we have have you heard of this before? So you have an action here. Feeling here above the therapy ones. So okay, so this is your therapy for the day, all right? So you have every action starts with a thought, right? So this is number 1, number 2, number 3. So you think about something. Even if it's intrusive, you you keep that thought in your brain. You put some time into it. And then eventually it turns into an action. And then you act upon it. And then it increases that feeling that that thought initially gave you. And now the feeling is amplified. And because it's amplified, you have no choice but to think of it more because that's all you're feeling. And then the thoughts stay constant in your brain, and then it turns into further action or like a repeated action until it becomes boring and you do something stronger, right? So this is the cognitive behavioral therapy cycle. You have to change your thoughts, and because it all starts from the thoughts, right? You have to, even if it comes to your brain, you have to change it. You have to redirect your thoughts. Be like, all right, I understand this is coming into my brain now. This is your brain here. You got the right and the left hemisphere. And this is your spinal cord, whatever. It's going into your brain. And yeah. You have, okay, so you don't control if birds fly over your head, right? It's your head. This bird is flying through over your head. You don't control that. But you control if it makes a nest in your head. Because that's allowing it. So you have to make sure that the bird is not staying on your head, but that if it passes, it passes. That's fine. You're not accountable for that. But you are accountable for fantasizing or thinking things deeply that you know you shouldn't be thinking about. But also, it's kind of ironic that when you're thinking about something that, you know, when you try to avoid that thought, it just comes stronger in the back of your mind. So you have to be patient with yourself and try to think about this cycle here, cognitive behavioral therapy. Thoughts, actions, feelings. And if you need a reminder, just CBT, like Google that, and then look at the cycle again. So that's my advice for you, if you're still on the stream. If you're not, I don't know why I did all that, but hopefully you benefited. So, taking care of themselves. Alright, so gather yourself. In this chapter, we talk about discomfort. Think about what or who contributes to your feelings of discomfort around setting boundaries. Write about them below. 2 were deleted. One of my messages was deleted. Oh, I don't know why. I don't have any moderators in the chat. And I didn't delete it for sure. I was writing the whole time. But, if you want, you could be mod. I don't know what that will do, though. I feel like you're the only person in the stream. That's not really, That's not very, common for the evening. But then again, everyone is sleeping at this time, so that makes sense. I'm pretty sleepy too, honestly. Alright, so I think I finished chapter 4. This page is just empty because I'm supposed to write more, but I feel like I'm done. I'm done. Alright, so this is a thick chapter though. This is from chapter 40. There's 15 pages for chapter 5. But that's because a lot of it is just like empty spaces, and I don't know if this is like a chapter to do on its live stream, because what is that word there? I don't know. We'll look at that tomorrow. For now, we're done with setting boundaries. That took like 34 minutes. And now, always time for physics. I wonder when I'll get to the math part of physics. I feel like I'm not learning anything. But ChatGPT is going very slowly. Alright. Gonna learn some physics. I need to charge this though. Oh my god. Is anyone still in the chat though? It shows 0 viewers. Momentum. Motion that doesn't want to disappear. It's about how hard it is to stop something. Okay. Intuition first. Mass, how much stuff, velocity, how fast, and direction. Big and fast, lots of momentum. Small and slow, little momentum. This reminds me of what's the name? John or something like the Toon guy, what's the name? Invincible John or something. Indiana Jones. Yes. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Physics. Oh, cool. Oh, welcome back to the stream, guys, and Dr. Singh. Yes. Do you know physics? Cause I don't. Okay, so big and fast, lots of momentum. Small and slow, little momentum. Yes. In a closed system, total momentum is conserved. What is a closed system? That means momentum can move between objects, but the total stays the same unless something external interferes. It's just as powerful as energy conservation. So is this like having to do with that? What do you call it? I don't know. I've seen that so much. Recoil of a gun. Two ice skates pushing off each other. Car crashes. Everyday example. You jumping off a skateboard. All momentum redistribution. Important distinction. Energy can turn into heat. Momentum cannot. Momentum only moves between objects or changes via external forces. This is why explosions still conserve momentum. Really? I don't know. Explosions still conserve momentum. Cause isn't explosion hot? I don't know. Crashes obey momentum even when their energy is lost as heat or sound. Sound is energy? Dang. Simple mental experiment. Imagine you're on a frictionless surface. You throw a heavy ball forward. What is a frictionless surface, though? Even a smooth surface has friction. What happens to you? You move backward. Why? A ball gains forward momentum, you gain equal backward momentum. No exceptions. Momentum versus force. This is so confusing, guys. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, Kai. How was your exam that you were studying for? Unless you didn't take it yet. How momentum changes. Big force over short time is equal to big momentum change. Small force over long time is same momentum change. So this explains why airbags save lives. Really? Why catching with soft hands works. I don't know why that explains airbag saving lives. Tiny tech answer in words. What does a bullet fired from a gun have? Why does a bullet fired from a gun have a lot of momentum, but the gun doesn't fly backward at the same time, at the same speed? No math, intuition is enough. After this, we'll finish lesson 4 with collisions, and then you'll officially have a full classical mechanics toolkit. I don't know. In a closed system, total momentum is conserved. It's just saying what momentum is. I get that. Okay, so it's because in a closed system, total momentum is conserved. I would say, since the bullet is inside a gun, it's in a closed. Wait, what did I say? Closed. What? Closed system. So therefore, the momentum is saved, or the momentum is saved because nothing external is added to it. It's just going out from one side. But don't sometimes you have like a shotgun and then you go backwards too, though? I don't know. Very solid starting explanation. You correctly identify the closed system idea and the momentum conservation. That's completed by answering the specific why not the same speed part. Missing just one ingredient. What you got right is that you said it's closed systems, momentum is conserved. Exactly right. Before firing, total momentum is 0. After firing, bullet momentum forward, gun momentum backward, total momentum is 0. Perfect. Missing piece, momentum depends on mass and velocity. So, for a momentum to balance, a small mass must move very fast. Oh! Okay, that makes sense. So, the bullet has a very small mass, but is very fast. So, much larger mass, much smaller speed. So, that makes sense. Plain physics statement, you ready for it? The gun recoils slowly because it has much more mass than the bullet, even though the forces are equal. This ties together Newton's third law: equal forces, momentum conservation, mass resisting acceleration. Intuition anchor, imagine throwing a tennis ball, a bowling ball. You apply similar effort. Which one sends you flying backwards? Neither, but I think bowling ball might. Oh, yeah, sorry, neither, but the bowling ball affects you more because of its mass. Okay, same logic, extreme case. Sorry, I was gone. My electricity went out. Dang. Where are you from? Because I think you said that before. So, is that really common where you're from? How do you preserve your food in the fridge? Does it go bad? Or do you get fresh food every day? Elastic collisions, momentum conserved, energy conserved, objects bounce. These are a lot of vocab words. I don't usually use these words. But elastic runs a rubber band. Collisions, momentum is conserved. Ideal billiard balls. Inelastic collisions, momentum conserved, energy not conserved. Some heat, sound, deformation, car crash, clay sticking to something. Most real collisions are inelastic. Okay. Objects bounce. I think when something bounces, that's an elastic collision. If it doesn't, there's a car crash. The unifying idea: forces explain how momentum changes, momentum explains what must balance. Energy explains what forms are possible. I don't understand, but okay, let's can you test me on what we learned so far? At least like multiple choice or something before we continue. Freezer. And it's not that much, it's like 2 a week. But that's still a lot though. Also, how long do your power outages last? Because you didn't leave the chat for too long, but if it lasts longer than that, like, oh, I remember asking you where you're from before. I forgot that you're not comfortable with saying that. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so conceptual: you are sitting in a train moving at constant speed in a straight line. Relative to the train, you are. Relative to the train? Say B because you're moving forward, because the train is moving forward, so relative to that, you're also moving forward. But then again, you're at rest though, if you're thinking about the train. Yeah, if it were on the tracks, if it were relative to the tracks, you would be moving forward. So I'd say you'd be at rest. That's key. So question number 2: velocity versus speed. Which solution involves acceleration even though speed stays the same? A card. Turning. D. Number 3: forces. A book is resting on a table. Which force acts on the book? Gravity and the table's normal force. Newton's first law, if no net force acts on an object, it will remain at rest or move at constant velocity. Is it C? I think it's C, I don't know though. Newton's third law, when you push on a wall, the wall pushes back on you with equal force. Equal, the same force. Why is everything C? Okay, number 6. You carry a heavy box at a constant height while walking horizontally. In physics sense, the work done on the box is 0. Also C. Dang. Is everything C now? Question 7. A book slides across. It comes to a stop. How does it kinetic energy? Thermal. Everything is C. Why is... Oh my gosh. Number 8. Why doesn't a gun fly backward at the same speed as a bullet when fired? The gun has much more mass. Also C. Are you kidding me? Let's look at this. Momentum. Momentum is conserved in all collisions. Yep. Big picture. Which statement is most accurate? I'm thinking number 2 is wrong now. Let me look at number 2. Velocity versus speed. No, it's D. Alright, number 10. Which statement is most accurate? Energy and momentum are the same thing. Forces create energy. Energy can change form. Momentum is transferred to an object. Yes, C. You got 10 out of 10. Wow. You're no longer a beginner. Next. Continue. Gravity is weird. Africa. Oh, you're from Africa. Was it South Africa or what? At least you don't put gravity's weird. Yeah. We finished lesson 4 though. I might continue this tomorrow. Just because I do 1 lesson per day. So, thanks for tuning in. It's kind of a short stream today, but I don't want to overdo it. So, bye guys. Or person, killer. Yeah, see you later. Thanks for tuning in.